Imagine if you had a set of money rules that could protect you from losing everything, help you grow steadily, and keep your wealth safe for the next generation. That's exactly what you'll get in this video, 3 practical principles you can start using right away. How to divide and protect your assets, how to build unshakable trust in business, and how to use money as a tool for long-term stability, not just short-term pleasure. Here's the surprising part. These aren't new ideas. They were written more than 1,500 years ago in the Talmud, a book of Jewish wisdom that many think is only religious, but in fact contains some of the sharpest financial advice ever recorded. For centuries, Jewish families have used these principles to survive wars, rebuild after exile, and create wealth that lasts for generations. And in the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how you can use the same wisdom in your own life today. Principle number 1, diversify your assets. The first wealth lesson from the Talmud is crystal clear. Never put everything you own in one place. The text says, let a man divide his wealth into 3 parts, 1 in land, 1 in business, and 1 kept in reserve. Think about how practical that is. Land represents stability, something tangible that holds value over time. Business represents growth, your capital, working, creating opportunities. Reserve represents security, cash or liquid assets to protect you in emergencies. 15 centuries ago, rabbis were teaching what modern investors today call asset allocation. It's the same principle you hear from Warren Buffett or any financial advisor: diversify. Protect the downside before you chase the upside. History shows why this matters. Jewish merchants often faced sudden risks, wars, political changes, or exile. If all their money was in land, they could lose it overnight. If all their wealth was in trade goods, one shipwreck or bandit raid could ruin them. But by dividing their assets, no single disaster could destroy everything. They always had a foundation to rebuild. Now, how does this apply to you today? Too many people go all in on one thing. 100% of their savings in one hot stock, or all their hope in a single employer, or every dollar tied up in one piece of real estate. That's gambling, not wealth building. Here's a better approach, inspired directly by the Talmud. Keep part of your money in stable assets, real estate, bonds, cash. Put part into growth, businesses, equities, side projects. Always hold a reserve fund 3 to 6 months of expenses in liquid form. This way you protect yourself against total loss while still giving your money room to grow. The Talmud's wisdom is simple but powerful. Survival is wealth. If you can survive downturns, job loss, market crashes, unexpected expenses, you can always rebuild. But if you gamble everything on one basket, you risk losing it all in one bad moment. So here's your takeaway. Look at your finances this week. Ask yourself, if one part of my wealth disappeared tomorrow, would I still be standing? If the answer is no, it's time to diversify, just as the Talmud advised centuries ago. Principle number 2, honest trade builds long-term wealth. The second lesson from the Talmud is about how you earn your money. It teaches the world stands on 3 things: truth, justice, and peace. Applied to business, this means every transaction should be grounded in honesty and fairness. Why is that so powerful? Because in Jewish culture, trust itself is capital. Money can open 1 door, but trust opens 100. History proves this. For centuries, Jewish merchants traded across Europe and the Middle East. They didn't always have armies or land to protect them, but they had something stronger, a reputation for fair dealing. A Jewish trader's word was as good as a contract. People would lend to them, partner with them, and buy from them because they knew promises would be kept. And here's the key. One dishonest deal didn't just damage the trader, it damaged the whole community. So integrity wasn't just moral, it was survival. Fast forward to today, and this lesson is even more relevant. In a world full of hype, clickbait, and scams, honesty has become rare and therefore incredibly valuable. If you're the person who always delivers what you promise, if your brand stands for fairness and transparency, you will attract opportunities again and again. Think about it. Would you rather do business with someone who sounds flashy but always overpromises, or with someone who might be less exciting but delivers exactly what they said every time? Customers, investors, and partners will choose trust because trust reduces their risk. Here's how you can apply this principle right now. Simplify your promises. Don't say world-class service, say delivery in 7 days or your money back. Protect your reputation. One broken commitment can erase years of goodwill. Measure success in trust, not just money. Ask yourself weekly, would my clients recommend me without hesitation? If the answer is yes, wealth will follow. The Talmud reminds us, wealth built on lies is temporary. Wealth built on trust is permanent. So the real question is this. When people hear your name in business, do they think of quick profits or lasting trust? Because in the long run, trust always pays more. Principle number 3, wealth is a tool for impact. The third wealth lesson from the Talmud is this: money is not the goal, it's the tool. The Talmud teaches, a man's worth is not measured by what he owns, but by what he gives. In Jewish tradition, wealth without purpose is considered incomplete. True wealth comes when money serves something larger than yourself, your family, your community, even future generations. That's why the concept of tzedakah, charitable giving, is not just about generosity, it's about responsibility. A portion of earnings is set aside to help others because helping others strengthens the whole community. And when the community is strong, everyone's wealth is safer. History shows how powerful this principle is. Jewish communities built schools, hospitals, and lending circles funded by contributions from wealthy families. These weren't just acts of kindness, they were long-term investments in stability. Educated children grew into skilled adults. Healthy neighbors became reliable partners. The stronger the community, the stronger each family's chance of survival and prosperity. Now think about today. We often hear the phrase, give back once you're rich, but the Talmud flips that you become rich because you give back. Why? Because giving builds reputation, networks, and loyalty. A business that reinvests in people earns trust, attracts talent, and gains customers who stay. Here's how you can apply this principle in your own life. Dedicate a percentage of income not just for spending or saving, but for impact. It could be education, mentorship, or helping someone start. Reframe your business goals, not just profit, but the value you create for others. The more value you add, the more money will follow. Remember that wealth isn't only money, it's also influence, knowledge, and opportunity, all things you can use to lift others. The Talmud's wisdom is clear. Money that serves only you is fragile. Money that serves others becomes lasting. So ask yourself, is your money just buying things, or is it building something that outlives you? Because in the Jewish wealth mindset, the true purpose of wealth is not possession, it's impact. So, let's wrap this up. The Talmud, written over 1,500 years ago, still gives us 3 timeless wealth principles. Diversify your assets so no single failure can destroy you. Build wealth through honesty, because trust is the most valuable currency. Use wealth as a tool for impact, because money that only serves you is temporary, but money that serves others becomes legacy. These are not just religious sayings, they are practical strategies that help Jewish families survive crisis after crisis and rebuild prosperity again and again. And here's the challenge for you. Look at your money this week. Are you diversified, or are you gambling everything on one thing? Do people trust your word as much as your money? And is your wealth building only possessions, or is it building something that lasts? If you shift even a little toward these principles, you'll find that wealth isn't just about getting rich, it's about staying rich and passing something meaningful on. If this gave you a new way of thinking about money, hit like, share, and subscribe for more. And don't miss the next video, where we'll uncover another ancient mindset that shapes modern wealth in surprising ways.